My deepest apologies, everyone. I didn't realize that my audio was absolutely horrendous for at least one video, maybe two, maybe even three. I know in the past I had watched my videos back, which I don't always do. I usually just record and upload. But I listened to an old one and it was incredibly quiet. You could barely hear me. Even with my volume all the way up, it was so quiet. So I had made some adjustments to my microphone, increasing the volume. Now I've decreased it again because it was absolutely insane. Thank you for the commenter who let me know, because I don't know how many I would have recorded before that was brought to my attention. So I had to re-record this video because it was wrong, but hopefully I've done some testing. It sounds okay now, so apologies for that, but thank you all for clicking on the video today. I'm the YuGiOh Scrub, but you all can call me Bailey. At 417 subscribers now, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of you have left because the audio was so bad. Jokes aside, consider subscribing. It would make me happy. Or don't and make me sad. It's up to you. Today, if you've seen a couple videos ago, I played against a Skyscourge Norlaris deck. Made me want to play it and be the asshole that made myself a little salty. So we're going to go ahead and just talk about it, because although I recorded the video and the people weren't happy that I was playing it, I need something to record for tomorrow's video. So this is what we're playing. We are doing Skyscourge Norlaris, so we're going to run 3 of that and 3 Phantom of Chaos. Obviously, you gotta run it. Some people could probably say run 2. I like the 3 Skyscourge. It's a trade-in target. It's a great discard for Dark Grepher, both to special summon itself and to send from your hand. You gotta run it. I mean, it's a Skyscourge Norlaris deck. I don't get why people be like, oh, I'm running any deck, but then not running the max of literally the namesake. So running 3 Phantom of Chaos, 3 Skyscourge. We're running the Sirocco version, well, Bayou Sirocco, the Blackwing version, over the Dragon version. I just like it a bit more. I like that Sirocco is a better normal summon. So we're running triple Bayou, triple Sirocco, and 1 Elfin. I just think it's good. You don't mind summoning them. You don't mind sending them in from your hand to the grave for the Grepher effects. We're also running triple Grepher because I think it's probably the best card in this deck, at least the best facilitator, because you can send pretty much anything you need to the graveyard. Running 1 Armageddon Knight just because sometimes you do want the normal summon that doesn't require a pitch from your hand. But because we're sending everything to the grave anyways with Phantom of Chaos, really doesn't matter that you're pitching stuff with Grepher. Running Necrogarden, Plague, and Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk is, if the last video I recorded that unfortunately you'll never see because the audio was bad, Summoner Monk might be the second best card in this deck. It's so good. I mean, not really. The second best card is probably Dark Creator or Dad. But it's so good because it can get you Grepher or Phantom of Chaos, whatever you need. Triple Value, because of course we're running the Value version. Triple Dark Creator, it's another level 8 to pitch with trade-in. Also, it's just a free special summon that can then bring back some Dark monsters. It's a good card. Running Dad, of course. Sometimes you can just easily go over 3 Darks very fast, but you have some grave manipulation, and, I mean, it's a Dark deck. You have to run Dad. Running Gores and Tragodi, just because they're also very good cards, and Sangan. Sangan's probably the worst monster in this deck, but what it can do is if you have it on the field, and then you can summon Phantom of Chaos, you can actually send everything to the graveyard, and then get the draw from Phantom of Chaos's Skyscourge and Norlaris effect, and search with Sangan, get another card. It can be pretty powerful that way. Triple Upstart, triple Trade-in, Allure, and Reinforcement in the army, and a Foolish Burial just for whatever you need, utility draws, get through the deck, see what you need to see. Of course, Trunade, Heavy, and MST for backer removal, and 1 Treacherous Trap Hole. Side deck doesn't really matter, extra deck kind of matters, but we're just going to go ahead and save. It already is the default. And re-record the matches that I've already recorded. Click this button. We both pick scissors. Ooh, and I win. Good luck, have fun. I got 2 matches in my last video. Both people were relatively salty, and I don't think said good games after, and left pretty abruptly. So, right here, let's go ahead. We'll trade in. Getting Foolish and Tragodia. We will then activate Rhoda. Getting ourselves a Dark Grepher. Pitching Sirocco to special summon Grepher. Declare the Grepher. Pitching Value. And sending either Elfin or Necrogarden. maybe the Elfin. We will then set MST and end. Keeping Foolish in hand, maybe I could have sent the Plague or the Necrogardener, but potentially getting Summoner Monk next turn, I want the spell in my hand. I did want to set MST, though. I'll negate his MST, targeting the MST. Alright, so MST hits MST. I set MST just because if it was Black Wings, you never know, might be able to hit Black Whirlwind. He summons Gareth. I'll eat 150 damage. And he sets one back row and ends. So, probably would have been good to Foolish and Necrogardener, but whatever. Having 2 turns of Dark Greph for being able to pitch stuff to the graveyard is very, very nice. But, like I said, I was thinking potentially getting Summoner Monk, which I believe would have been a better play. I'll eat 18 from the Jane, and 1850 from the Gareth, and I'll pet Special Summon Trag. Just in case anything happens here. Milling 2 cards from the Jane, and then Gareth will mill 2 more. Milling Charge, and Lilas will draw 1 card. And the turn will end. Let's go ahead and declare the value. We'll get rid of probably Sirocco. Torrential, bottomless. It is a bottomless, perfect. Just to confirm, do have 3 darks in the grave. So now let's go ahead. And the question here is, we will, yeah, well now we have to. We'll banish, getting rid of, let's get rid of the Gareth. And we'll banish the Sky Scourge. And let's attack for 4,000 damage. Now, I think we'll keep the Foolish in hand. Sending whatever we might need. We could always send another Sky Scourge. He kind of has to get Dad off of the field. I was thinking about sending Plague using Tragodia's effect to target the Grepher, making it level 6. We'll go ahead, activate Trunade. Okay. We'll declare. Banish. Pop his face down. And okay, that's game. I figured. Bring in Soul Release, bring in DD Crows, get rid of my back row removal. What else do I want to get rid of? Maybe Sangan's a little slow. We'll see how this goes. As with a deck like this, you get very quick matches. especially my version, which is really just made to try to get Norlaris off as fast as possible, or to pump out big boss monsters. Opening hand looks pretty good. We got Blackwing Vayu, Emblem of Honor, Sirocco the Dawn, DD Crow, Dark Gruffer, and Rhoda. He opens with a Solar Recharge, so nice card from him to open with. Pitching an Aaron, milling Lila, and Honest. So, 2 names in grave. Setting a back row and a monster. We can pitch Special Greffer, Prio, send Vayu, probably sending a Norlaris to grave. Do we do Norlaris or do we do a Necro Gardener? Or do we do a Plague? I think we do Norlaris. Let's activate Rhoda. Get ourselves an Armageddon Knight. Normal Arma. And we'll send Necro Gardener to grave. And let's just attack. Probably should have attacked with Greffer first. He mills Bottomless, Charge, and a Raikou. So he's got 3 in grave. Fine by me. Best thing for me here would be if he is to summon like a Lumina. Lumina, pitch a card. Only 3 in grave, so I don't need to use DD Crow as of yet. DD Crow's a cool looking card. Just gotta put that out there. I love the fact that it's a crow getting out of the dimensional fissure. I love when cards have other cards in the background telling a story. I know that's not like a crazy opinion. Oh my god, you like stories in your card game? Though the dual terminal. I know some people seem to really like it. I thought it was interesting. Seems like it kind of jumps the shark a little bit. Where they just really are trying to force a story through. But if you like it, you like it. I liked it when it was worms and probably up until the Shadal's Constellas, and couldn't even tell you anything about it really anymore. I just remember watching a video about it when I was a couple years ago, a little bit younger. Okay. Summons Soul of Purity Light, banishing Raikou and Honest. Makes sense. Summons Jane. Should attack with the Jane. I'll eat 700. Is it? Yep. 700. Soul of Purity Light is during my battle phase only that I lose attack. And does he want to attack with Soul of Purity and Light? He seems to be thinking about it. Soul is my B. Yep, he doesn't. It's okay. People don't always get things right, but no reason to be salty. Just you can read your cards. I understand the confusion. Milling a Lila and Cold Wave. So 2 Lilas. Jane would be the 4th name. Drawing a trade-in. So, unfortunately here, we'll have to end again. And hopefully we can draw a card soon enough to help out. I do have Necro Engrave, right? Yep. And we will banish the Necro Gardener. Make sure that we don't eat 2,000 from the Soul of Purity and Light. He sets 1 monster, probably a YuGiOh, and there's the 4th name. We draw another trade-in. Okay, well, let's go ahead, activate Foolish Burial. Sending... It's gotta be the Plague, I imagine. The only thing I could think of would be... What is silver? 2,800. So we'll send Plague. Because we gotta make Stardust, I think. Next, let's go ahead. Make a Armed Wing. Does it get bottomless? We will then declare the effect of Plague, banish Plague, send Armed Wing to grave, making a Stardust Dragon. It was a Necro Gardener of his own, so not a YuGiOh, but that's fine. Let's just make sure, so he has 4 engrave. We'll likely banish the Celestia. Maybe the Aaron, because he probably only runs 1 Aaron. So we'll DD Crow the Aaron so he doesn't have 4 engrave. So if he wants to get 4 engrave, he'll have to run the Jane into the Stardust Dragon. But then that would use his battle phase. And if he does that, then he can't use JD. Okay, so... He's got me. Unfortunate. Bottomless seems pretty good here, too. Take out the Treacherous Trap Hole. And maybe the Elfin. Bottomless can just hit some of his bigger monsters. Okay. So let's go ahead and activate a Lure of Darkness. Got a pretty good opening hand here. Getting Trade-in and Dark Creator. We'll banish one of the Sky Scorch Norlarises. Activate Rhoda. Getting a Greffer. Let's activate Trade-in, pitching the Sky Scourge. Getting DD Crow and Plague. Sending Sirocco to grave to special summon the Greffer. Sending Plague to grave to send probably a YuGiOh. YuGiOh or Necro Gardener. We'll send Necro Gardener, because I want to hopefully keep this Greffer alive for one turn and be able to send more stuff to grave. I would love if I could see myself a Phantom of Chaos. Surprisingly enough, even though I built this deck to use that effect as much as possible, I haven't seen it once. So we'll go ahead, banish Necro Gardener, keeping it alive. And he'll mill 2 in the end phase, milling an Aaron and a YuGiOh. So, of course, mills 2 names. We'll send Dark Creator to grave with the Greffer effect. Pitching, probably Vayu. Yeah, pitching a Vayu. Now we can summon Dark Creator, which we will. But I'm not going to use the effect. He bottomlesses. That's fine. And now, do I make Colossal Fighter? In case he is honest. I don't have to worry about JD because he doesn't have more names yet. I think I'm going to try for it. Let's Synchro. Making a Colossal. So it's 100 more. Yeah, okay. So, it needs 3,000 now because of the Aaron. And we'll attack with Dark Greffer. Aaron and Jane. And so he's got 3 in grave. I have a DD Crow, and we'll be drawing into another DD Crow. So I'm feeling okay here. Solar Recharge could do something. I feel a sneeze coming. Excuse me. Fine, but next time you summon and use effect, I'm gonna hold you to it. That seems a little bit much to me, to like summon the Lumina, use the effect, seconds later add it back to hand and set likely a YuGiOh. Now, do I want to use the Dark Greffer effect, sending another Vayu and trying to put some damage on board? 25 plus 17 is... Is it 52? No. 42. 42. So, yeah, I think I'm going to try this here. So we'll declare sending a DD Crow to grave, pitching a Vayu, declare the Vayu, making an Armor Master, and we'll attack with Colossal Fighter first. It was the Lumina. So, not the read I had. But he does have 4 in grave. And we will banish the extra Lumina. GG. So you actually said GG. Okay. We were at 26 minutes. Let's do one more quick match. Hopefully it actually is quick. I'm surprised. And let me know in the comments if you've gotten this far. Do you think that I was a little over the line for saying I would hold him? To me, it was a unreasonable amount of time, or borderline unreasonable to summon. And if he had summoned but not clicked declare effect, then I would have been like, But the fact that he did click declare effect makes me want a little more likely to be like, I need to hold you to that. You know, that's a bit different than something else. But whatever, it's just a ladder game, not a tournament. Opening hand, Phantom of Chaos, Gores, Plague, Dracodia, MST, and Upstart Goblin. So we'll Upstart Goblin. Getting ourselves a Sky Scourge Norlaris. I think we'll keep Plague in hand in case we get ourselves a Dark Grepher. He uses the awful art of Reinforcement of the Army, getting himself a Stratos. Searching for what? That's the worst art. I do not like this art of Reinforcement of the Army. The correct art is just the plain, simple art that's always been there. Hits for 1,800. I'm going to go ahead and Gores. No reason not to. We get Dark Armed Dragon. So the play here is obviously just going to be to attack. Synchroing with Plague would do nothing. So we're going to attack with Gores. Hitting him for 900. And hitting him with the token. Does he have his own Gores? Doesn't look like it. We'll keep MST in hand because it fuels our Tragodia a little bit more. And I'm not too worried about... I could actually be worried about a Gemini Spark. But I'm not overly worried. All I've seen right now are the Alias and the Stratos and a Rhoda. But, okay, so he's running... Hold up. So, you normaled Grepher and okay. Go. Yeah, so he pitched the Plague to use the effect, but nope, he's actually pitching the Plague for the Grepher effect from the normal summon. Getting ahead of himself. Grepher would be absolutely broken if it could pitch any dark monster to special summon itself. So he goes ahead and makes a YuGiOh Guardian here. Gonna make a level 8 with Malicious and Plague. Banishing Plague and Malicious for Stardust. We'll take... Sorry. Gain 200. And we will move it, but we will special summon Tragodia, which is at 3,000, 3,000, and we will eat 700 damage from the Stardust over the token. So feeling okay here. We have the biggest monster in play. I can actually steal his Stardust with Tragodia. Or I can't steal YuGiOh because I don't have a level 6. It'd be really crazy if I draw. Nope, not that one. So these are 3,600. No darks in grave yet. I think, though, that I can just attack over the YuGiOh Guardian and have the biggest monster on the field. And I think that's all I really need to do right now. There's no point in stealing anything. I could steal the Stardust, but no point because he has Gores. So I think I'll just end here. No point in putting anything on the field and lowering my Tragodia attack, though. I could supposedly put one card on the field. But this also keeps me insulated from a Colossal Fighter, because he's got a few Warriors in grave. I'm less afraid of Gemini Spark now, because typically this version doesn't play Gemini Spark. 4,200. 4,200. Now, what could this face down be? We'll declare stealing his Stardust. Put it to attack. Attack over the Gores. Attack over his face down. It was the Neos alias that I thought. They don't typically run things. Maybe Snowman Eater. Just because it is a way to pop cards and it's a water. But Stardust does allow me to negate Absolute Zero if he's able to put that on the field. Just to confirm. Yep, he does have 3 darks in grave. And now I have 3 darks in grave. So we'll special summon our own. Gores is probably the worst here. I could have also summoned the Sirocco, and that probably would have been a slightly better play. But we'll go ahead. 2 defense. Pitch. We'll pitch Trunade to special summon Greffer. Greffer will pitch Sirocco. And yeah, we're just going to send a value. Okay, so we get game 1. Want to bring in DD Crows. We'll just bring in the DD Crow and take out Trunade, Sangan. Armageddon Knight. I think DD Crow will be good. Can hit Malicious, can hit Plague, can hit a Waterer hero if he's trying to use that. The fact that he was done siding so fast makes me think that he might not have a side deck. That, or he's just not afraid of this deck, which I think you should be afraid of this deck. The problem with this deck in siding is that it's pretty easy to side for. Anything graveyard-related, Kaiku, Soul Release, DD Crows, which are very common sideboard cards, which anyone who plays Edison format regularly would know. He opens Future Fusion, so that's a great card to open with, though I have Skyscourge, Norlaris, and Phantom of Chaos. So I have a very strong opening hand right now. He hits Malicious in Dandy. Can't. Elemental Hero. I've learned this the hard way. I've also tried to make this play, sending Malicious and Dandy. But nope, has to be an E hero, cannot be Malicious. That would be insane. I will let him reveal an absolute 0. I'm not going to hold him to the Gaia. It also just doesn't really matter to me because I can pretty quickly deal with this. Okay, so he does go with the Gaia, Neosalius, and Dandelion. Can't tribute the tokens. Sets 1 back row and ends. Okay. So we'll pitch Norlaris for Greffer. Declare Greffer. Cryo. And send a Vayu. Unfortunately, do I let him make another play? Or do I just go straight for Phantom of Chaos? I think I'll give him 1 turn. Okay, so he torrential tributes. No prio. And we will banish Norlaris, pay 1,000 life points, send everything to graveyard. He sends Mind Control, Econ, Avarice, and MST. I draw Sirocco. And I'll start beating in for some damage. Sirocco draws, pretty nice. Gives me a nice normal summon if he is able to beat over this Armed Wing. He gets the Gaia. So that's a card he needed. So it hits me for 2,200, I believe. I think that's how it works. Of course, now I draw the DD Crow. So we'll end our turn there. He reinforcement of the armies, getting Stratos into Neos Alias. So he's actually been able to play through. Let's see what I draw. Upstart Goblin. Perfect. And another DD Crow. So we'll end our turn there, but he's going to be able to win this game. Yep. Okay. So let's bring in bottomlesses over the treacherous. Good game by him. He was able to survive my onslaught. I mean, it was a top-decked Miracle Fusion that let him do it, but you know what? He did it. Okay. So we have a good play here. We will reinforce him in the army. Getting ourselves Dark Greffer. We will activate Trade-in, sending Nolaris, getting Heavy Storm and Sirocco, perfect. Pitch the Sirocco, special summon Greffer, pitch the other Sirocco, sending a Vayu, normal summon Phantom of Chaos, declare, banish, pay 1,000, and send everything to grave. We will activate the Upstart. Okay, so I think we're in an okay position here. I'm not gonna activate the Vayu. We'll get Necro Gardener. Set the Necro Gardener. Now we'll activate the Vayu. Because we draw Dark Armed. And just to be confirmed, yep, 3 Darks. Special summon Dark Armed. Pop. Probably Snowman Eater. No, it was a Plague. And we will attack with a lot of monsters. I'm not afraid of his 1 card being Gores. Okay. We'll just attack over his Tragodia, because why not? I might have waited until the Dark Armed attack, because he could have possibly used a Tragodia effect. Eh. GG's. And he left. We had the DD Crow to hit the Plague, so anything he would have done basically was for naught. But although I hate playing against this deck, and I will say I feel the slightest bit bad about playing it against my opponents, it's a deck in Edison format that you have to be prepared for. I think it's not a terrible deck. It's basically Vayu Turbo, but also like Royal Tribute Hand Rip, except it hits also spells and traps. It's a little bit crazy. It's a bit gimmicky because it runs things like the Dark Creator and the Dark Greffer, but the Dark Creator, when it works hard. The only thing I don't like is there's not really great monsters to special summon with it. Like, say you special summon Dark Creator and Prio, you banish a Sangan or a Summoner Monk and summon what, like Sirocco? Maybe you summon a Greffer again and the Greffer can start fueling stuff. But if you've drawn the Dark Creator off of a top deck from after a Norlaris, you don't really have a ton of cards to pitch with the Dark Greffer, so you're kind of getting somewhat useless monsters. I mean, a 2,000 beater in like a Sirocco or a special summoned Armed Wing, though I don't know if you actually can get the Armed Wing because it wasn't technically synchro summoned. That's one of those things where I'm never sure about if your opponent, say, uses Vayu, summons an Armed Wing, you bottomless, and they try to return. Can you bring back the Armed Wing? Because, again, it was not properly synchro summoned. It was special summoned with the Vayu effect, which is fine. Vayu can do that. That's literally the effect of Vayu. But it's one of those weird rulings where because it wasn't properly synchro summoned, are you allowed to bring it back after? The same way I don't know if you can, like, Call of the Haunted a Stardust Dragon that was brought out with Starlight Road. Let me know. These are questions that I have for things in the comments, and that's why you guys are here, because I'm a scrub. You guys gotta help educate me. There are things I can think about, but let me know what you think of this deck. Comment Tell me if my audio is better, worse, if you want it turned up a little bit more. If it's still really bad, I again greatly apologize for the terrible audio quality on the last video, maybe even 2 videos. I again have no clue what happened. I made no adjustments like within the last few days. It was the same things I've been doing for like 2 weeks, but somehow something went wrong. So apologies. I hopefully you will subscribe and give me the love that I so dearly deserve and need. Thank you and goodbye.